My name is John, and I'm looking for a good one. What started as a simple piece of freeware back in 2008 has made its way to the Xbox Live Marketplace with an all-new graphical style and updated game mechanics. Spelunky, an adorable action platformer from Mossmouth, has recently arrived onto the paid gaming market, but at 1200 Microsoft points, is it worth the purchase, or does the free PC download suffice? Spelunky is beautifully drawn, with thick dark outlines to detail characters and make each element stand out. The animation is spot on, and the world's environments are appealing and make you feel like you really are on an adventure. The soundtrack that accompanies the gameplay is also beautifully crafted. It is so mellow it relaxes you as you play, and you may need some relaxing. The entire atmosphere of the game feels so charming and whimsical that you feel simple, old-fashioned enjoyment while you play. The goal of Spelunky is quite simple: make your way to the end of each level. But how you choose to do so is where the explorer in you has a chance to shine. Players must bomb, climb, and fight their way through perilous dungeons filled with various enemies and traps, all designed to make you fail. And fail you will. This game is hard. You start with 4 health points, and depending on the severity of what you get hit by, you may very well lose all of them in one hit. Health points can be regained throughout the game by rescuing a damsel that is hidden away in each level. And sometimes she does find herself in quite the predicament. Stacking life points has no limit, so it is worth trying to seek out the damsel in each level to increase your survivability. You will need it. You are going to die a lot, though a lot of the time, if not all the time, deaths will mostly be your own fault, be it impatience on your part or simply by overlooking a trap. And adding to the game's difficulty is perhaps the most unique identifier of Spelunky. Every time you die, you must restart from the beginning, which I must admit sounds pretty standard for most platforming games. But in Spelunky, the level is never arranged the same way twice. Each level is randomly generated before the level starts, sometimes even in pure darkness. This forces the player to become skillful at the game as opposed to memorizing enemy placement or taking the safest road to victory. So you might want to take it slow and play it cautiously, right? Wrong. Should you decide to take too long, an invincible ghost will appear at the edge of the stage and encourage you to finish the level. Each level, no matter how it is generated, is going to have a variety of ways to get to the goal. Some may require you to consume your resources, which will often mean a safer road, though others may throw you into a horde of enemies or a trap-ridden nightmare. You will never know what's in store, so the game gives you an awesome sense of discovery and really makes you feel like an explorer on a subterranean adventure. From the beginning, players are equipped with a whip as their only means of defense, along with a finite amount of ropes and bombs. Ropes will let you climb up to otherwise unreachable areas, and bombs will help you blow apart the walls for treasure, neutralizing traps, or making shortcuts. These resources can be replenished via weapon crates, defeating stronger, boss-like enemies, or purchased from stores that are randomly strewn about the levels. And the amount you are left with at the end of each level will carry over to the next. So resource management becomes an important aspect of gameplay. Aside from the standard equipment, there are dozens of passive power-ups and weapons. Passive power-ups will enhance your character's abilities, while a weapon will help you with monsters. You may stack as many passive bonuses as you like, but unfortunately, you may only carry one item at a time. This includes guns, pickaxes, damsels, forbidden treasures, etc., etc. This prevents you from stockpiling an arsenal of weapons to fight your way through the levels easily. And like bombs and ropes, all power-ups and weapons you have at the end of each level will carry over to the next. The game consists of 4 distinctly themed worlds, each made up of 4 levels, the last of which is a battle with the game's boss. Each world has its own set of traps and enemies, all of which act differently from previous worlds. The game is overabundant with discovery, with very little to no guidance on how anything acts or operates. It's up to you to play and learn as you progress. And it's the little things that you discover for yourself that makes the gameplay addictive and enjoyable. Coming across a new trap for the first time is really nerve-wracking, and the first time you see a big new enemy will have you running in the opposite direction looking for a gun. If all else fails, just throw something at it and hope for the best. Everything you come across, be it locations, enemies, weapons, or traps, will be documented in your journal. Your entries may give a little insight into the objects and inhabitants of the treacherous caves, though the game really feels like it begs you to experience the environments and convert knowledge into wisdom so you can finally emerge victorious. Treasures you collect are your currency. This can be used at item shops that are randomly generated to buy weapons, power-ups, or resupply your bombs and ropes. Though if you feel game enough, you can try stealing from the shopkeeper and escape with your life and your loot. Stronger, boss-like enemies also drop rewards. These can include supplies, weapons, or power-ups. Though they are quite tough to fight, and there's a strong chance you may lose some, if not all, your health points fighting them. There is also a black market that can be found randomly. Walls can be blown apart to reveal its secret location. The location can also be found with the help of some power-ups, but for the most part, it's just luck whether or not you actually find one. This black market will count as a stage in your level progression and is simply a large cave for you to purchase any in-game item. The whole stage is littered with shopkeepers who will try to hunt you down should you try to steal something, so it's best to buy the necessities and be on your way. There are 3 checkpoints throughout the game, but these in themselves are a chore to unlock. After you reach the end of a world multiple times, you will be greeted by the Tunnel Man. This guy will offer to open up a tunnel to the next world that you can access from the game's pseudo-overworld. This makes it possible to chip away at the game and finally conquer it. The game has 2 multiplayer modes. Up to 4 players can take on the campaign cooperatively, and there is also a battle arena style minigame. The idea of co-op can be fun, but it won't be long until it degenerates into a troll fest to see who can annoy the others the best. The battle arena can be fun with friends. With a variety of maps, it makes for a fun distraction, but it won't hold your attention for too long. The main game is where it's at, co-op or no. Spelunky is a great action platformer that tests players' skill on a whole new level, and really enforces the sense of discovery and exploration. The controls are tight and such an improvement over the original. Every action feels accessible and it runs so smooth. The visuals and sound are so adorably charming that you'll be wearing a smile all the while you're playing. For the most part. Some obscenities may be thrown around in frustration, but you'll be back to feeling good again after hearing those upbeat tunes once more. And if you can get past the frustrating difficulty with a small giggle at your own misfortune, you'll have a blast with this game.